delete this recording, okay? In Adho Mukha Svanasana, recreate the length of the side groins that you had in Gomukhasana Virasana. So when you were seated, we were working on getting the side ribs very tall and even. And so same thing here. Keep working on getting the side ribs very tall and even. Also, I forgot to ask if anyone is on their period. Definitely let me know. And if you are on your period, then good to have something under your head. And even better to have something holding your hips at the top of the thighs, a rope. So Tracy and others, if you have shoulder issues, you can take your hands up on a support. You can even take your hands wide so that you don't have so much weight on your head. And this is the way we do it for you in your class. So have your hands up on something, Anne. Okay. Uttanasana. Uttanasana. You could have your hands on the height, or you could do classic Uttanasana. Uttanasana, Don. Uttanasana. Uttanasana. This is a really good time to learn the names of the poses, you know, because you're home, and you could do it with the kids. You could learn Sanskrit. You don't have to know. You just need to know about 20 words. You don't have to know like thousands of words in Sanskrit. In order to know what the poses are, you just need to know like 20 words. Ut means intense. Uttana means extending. Uttanasana, here, or here, or here. Standing forward bend. Okay. And hands to the hips, come on up. Shirshasana. Those of you who are doing Shirshasana, Shirshasana. Those of you who are not doing Shirshasana, then we're going to do Supta Virasana. All right? So if you don't do Supta Virasana, then take Supta Baddha Konasana on a bolster. Okay, so Supta Virasana. Shirshasana, go ahead. Supta Virasana is going to be like this. This is the minimal setup. All right, and if you don't, if you need more height, you can build it up. If you don't do Supta Virasana, then you'll do Supta Baddha Konasana. So let's see. Anne can do, and this is what I suggest for you. Is to do one-legged Virasana like this. One leg at a time. All right? And the others, Supta Virasana or Shirshasana. So kneeling in Virasana, then lie back into Supta Virasana. Front of the thighs long. Front of the thighs long, outer shins down. And in Shirshasana, also keep working on getting the thighs tall. Elissa, try taking your elbows a little bit apart, a little bit wider than your shoulders, yes, in order to get more lift in the shoulders and in order to bring the armpits more forward. Sometimes if our arms are too close in, it narrows the collarbones. So keeping the elbows shoulder width or even slightly wider is the way that the Iyengars have been teaching it lately. Helps to broaden the collarbones and get more lift in the shoulders. All right, so those of you in Supta Virasana, press the outer shins, reach the tailbone toward the knees, lengthen through the front of the hips more and more and more. Those of you in Virasana also lengthen through the front of the thighs, lift the quadriceps away from the groins. Now, if you have space to do so, those of you in Shirshasana, bend your legs into Virasana. Bend your legs into Virasana. And then take your knees close together and your feet apart. Knees close, feet apart. Draw the heels down to the buttocks. Draw the heels down to the buttocks. And Elissa, you could, if you wanted to move just a couple of inches away from the wall, you might have space to do this. Now, so now, Corey, if this is hard on the knees, you have a couple of options. You could do one leg at a time. One leg Virasana, one leg Marichyasana. Or you could do Baddha Konasana. All right? If your knees are not ready for this, Corey. All right. And then come back up Virasana. Come back up Shirshasana to regular Shirshasana. We'll just stay one more minute. Give Elissa a chance to try this. So the heels toward the buttocks, knees to the ceiling. Heels toward the buttocks, knees toward the ceiling. Yeah. Knees close, feet wide. Yes. And then lengthen the quadriceps. Good. All right. Then everyone start to make your way down. Start to make your way out of the pose. All right, so the next set of poses, you're gonna need a wall, or a couch is okay, like a half wall. The couch is kind of like a half wall, you know? So a wall or a half wall. And we're gonna be in this position here. So you could also give yourself a little padding like this. All right, here's my, this is my wall. And the next set of poses we're going to do on our stomachs, like this. So find a spot. The couch is kind of nice because then my ankles can my feet can kind of dangle. But a wall is also good. So have something. Let me see. Now let's see. And you could even do this like on a bed. Yeah, whatever you can manage. I'm sorry that I can't see you. So you'll have to figure it out. Okay, good. So have your forehead down. Have your feet hip width apart. Your knees can be a few inches apart. You can rest your forehead like this. I'm going to turn my head so I can see you. Okay, good. Scoot all the way in, and already you should feel the front thighs lengthening, the groins lengthening. Also notice there's you can even touch, like right here at the top of the thigh, it wants to lift up off the floor, the groin, the level of the groin. So the task here, you can lift one knee slightly, bring it down, lift the other knee slightly, bring it down, and then press the middle buttock toward the floor in order to get the groins lengthening on the floor. Now, everybody's knees feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So now from here, pressure, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Lift your face. This is like kind of like what a baby does, right? Lift your face, lift your collarbones, pull your elbows back. I'm getting up so I can see you. Good. Elbows back. And then navel, the navel has to stay down, the buttocks have to stay down. Okay? And then come down and rest. Also, there should not be any neck ache in this pose. It's really a matter of lengthening through the side ribs and pulling the shoulder blades in, spreading across the collarbones, all those things that we started class off with. So it's not about the neck. It's about the shoulder blades. It's about the thoracic spine, the dorsal spine. The hands do help. So as you press into the hands, like a kind of like a pushing forward of the hands. All right, let me see. Let's do it again. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Pull your elbows back. Pull your shoulder blades down. Press the middle buttock down. Press the middle buttock down. Keep the bottom of the sternum on the floor. Katie, don't lift too high. Bottom of the sternum is still on the floor. Yes, so it's just the top chest. Good. And head can be neutral. Tracy or others, head can be neutral. Okay, come down and rest. All right. This time, let's take the hands. So we'll press the hands down, lift the chest up, and then the hands go back. So now what's holding you up? It's the back muscles, pulling the back muscles towards the spine, shoulder blades in. Okay? So it's Shalabhasana arms. Press your hands down, lift the chest up, buttocks down. Open up that ditch at the groins, lengthen out that crease at the groins, and then reach the hands back. Reach the hands back. Yes. Turn your palms to face the ceiling. And then extend further and further with the hands. Spread across the top chest. Roll the shoulders back more and more, and then come down and rest. These poses these prone back bends are really strength building. You know, they're really good for engaging the back muscles to lift the chest and getting strong, healthy in the back. As you're lying here, just rest your head. And as you're lying here, I invite you to also bring your attention to the back body, back ribs. And you know, the lungs are more toward the back body. And so picture your lungs widening, spreading, and the strong, supple tissue of the lungs in the across the back body. You can picture your diaphragm lifting and releasing to pump the lungs with air. It doesn't require any special effort on your part, but as you pay attention to it, you can bring more consciousness, more vitality through your consciousness to your lungs, to your lung tissue. So important, right? So important in this day and age. Okay, try again, Shalabhasana. Press your palms, lift your head, lift the collarbones, reach your arms back. Reach your arms back. Yes, good. And pull the shoulder blades in and the arms a little higher. And then come down and rest. Now, one more variation of Shalabhasana here. So I press the hands, I take the arms back. Then can I lift the thighs a little bit off the floor? I'm flexing my feet, lifting the thighs even just an inch or so off the floor without dropping the chest. Okay, let's see if that can happen. Press your palms, lift the chest, buttocks down, reach back with the hands, and then keeping the chest lifting, can you get your thighs a little bit off the floor? Even just an inch, even just an inch. Good. Spread the chest open more and more. And then come down, come down. Now, when the legs come up, the buttocks have to stay down. You know, so the pubis needs to press firmly into the blanket. Try it one more time. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, reach the arms back. Inhale, lift higher, lift the thighs. Good. Take your feet apart and lift the thighs higher. Good. And then rest. They're pretty strenuous. These prone back bends are pretty strenuous. They're not like long hold back bends. All right.
Peggy, I'm taking it in my lower back.
You're okay. So then what you could do, Julia, is you could take another blanket and put a three-fold blanket under your navel. You know?
Okay.
So that the sacrum and tailbone lengthen down more. All right? Because you definitely don't want to feel it in your low back. You want to keep the low back neutral. Okay. Sometimes then, and what happens, the low back wants to compensate if there's tightness in the thoracic spine. The lumbar wants to compensate, which is not a healthy, that's a dysfunctional movement pattern that you don't want to encourage. Okay, so now from here, you can have your head down and bend your left leg. I'll show you with my right leg so that it's easier to see. Hold on to the ankle. Pull the heel down to touch the buttock. Now, if you have knee issues, you could put a strap or a rope behind the knee, okay? On the inside of the knee like this, all right? So, or you could even put like a rolled towel or something, kind of depending on how much the knee can take. All right, so ready? This is Ardha Backasana. So from here, bend your left leg, hold with your left hand, pull the heel down to the outer buttock. So brush the heel to the outer hip. Keep the foot close in. Good. Keep the weight centered on the front of the hips, abdomen down, and then release. Does that feel okay, Corey? Okay, good. All right, second side. Take hold of your right ankle. Your head can stay down just so your nervous system can stay calm and your cervical spine is not compressed. Inhale, exhale. Now fold the. Also, I forgot to say, you could put a strap on the ankle. If it's difficult to bend the leg, you can put a strap on the ankle so that you're just pulling in. Otherwise, hold your outer ankle and then press the foot down toward the buttock. Okay, release. Repeat on the first side. You know, so these are not like flashy poses, but they're really important. They're really important, and there's a lot happening, even though there's not like huge movement. Like on an outward level, there's a lot happening in the psoas, in the front of the hips, in the groins, in the quadriceps, in the abdomen. Okay, release and change sides. And then part of the task is like really to stay calm, in while all the sensation is happening. Right leg. Okay, come back and now watch this next variation. If that was like maximum for you, then just repeat. If you want to go further, then you could put your, I'm just going to show you on my right leg because that's the side that's facing the camera. You can put your elbow under your shoulder like this. So the left elbow under the shoulder, the forearm parallel to the narrow end of my mat. Then from here, holding the foot, and then I pull the foot in. Now watch what I'm going to do. First I'll hold from the inside of the ankle. Then I'll put the foot in, and then swivel the fingers forward. So this is the classic arm position for Backasana. And I'm trying to get my toes toward the floor. My right toes toward the floor. Elbow up to the ceiling. Okay? Now, don't force this. If you're feeling any discomfort in your knee, in your shoulder, in your low back, okay, don't force it. You can just repeat the earlier variation. Ready? Take hold of your left foot, left ankle, from the inside. Now, pull the foot in, swivel the hand around if you can, so the fingers point forward. Elbow up to the ceiling. Elbow up to the ceiling, swivel the fingers around. Look straight ahead. Look straight ahead, yes. And then push the foot down toward the hip. Push as if you're going to touch your left toes to the floor. And then release. Okay. Try the other side. So, yoga, asana practice requires courage. Requires courage because we're putting ourselves into uncomfortable positions. We're inflicting discomfort on ourselves. Try the other side. Do the other side. We're inflicting discomfort on ourselves, but for a purpose, right? It's not just because we're masochistic. It's in order to create space, or maybe there wasn't space before. Square off the chest, square off the shoulders as best you can. Reach the toes toward the floor. Press with the heel of the hand. Good, good. And then release. Now, if you want, you can try both sides at once, okay? So you're holding the feet. I'm inching nice and close to the wall. I'm holding the feet. I turn the hands, chest down, and lift the chest. Elbows up, shoulder blades in. Okay? It's optional. But if you want, you could try it with both legs. And then lift the collarbones. Once you get your hands in place, and lift the collarbones. Nice work. Elbows up. It's frog. It's the frog pose. Yay, frog. And then release. Peka. Peka means frog. And so now you know the spring peepers are coming out. All the frogs are coming out. So it's a happy time. Release. Rest. Rest. All right. So now take your hands, so the shins are still at the wall. Take your hands underneath your shoulders again. Actually, take your elbows. Take your elbows under your shoulders and your palms on the floor. Okay? So the upper arm is perpendicular to the floor. Now here too, lengthen the buttocks down. Tailbone down. Julia, is your low back okay here?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then from here, pressing into the palms, start to lift your elbows off the floor. When you lift your elbows off the floor, bring your chest more forward. So kind of drag back with your hands in order to bring the chest forward. Maybe the arms will straighten, but don't force it. And then come on down. Watch me for a moment. So when I lift the elbows off the floor, it's really not about the arms. So it's not here. This is easy, but I'm not getting any chest opening here. It's not a back bend. It's a lumbar bend, but it's not a back bend. So from here, I'm going to slowly pull the elbows in, bring the shoulder blades in, bring the chest forward, and then bring the sternum forward, shoulder blades in, and slowly straighten my arms instead of this. Do you see the difference? So try it. This is a variation of Bhujangasana, Cobra. All right, shoulder blades in, outer elbows in, roll the biceps out, roll the biceps out, lift the elbows and slowly straighten. And the work here is in getting the thoracic spine to coil forward and up, upper back, open, roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades in, more chest forward. Can you bring the chest between your arms? Chest between your arms. And then come down and rest. All right. And if you want to do it again, you could repeat that, or you could take your hands a little bit closer in, okay, toward your shoulders, elbows up to the ceiling this time. Okay, so you can repeat that, or you could bring your hands closer like this, and then go up. All right, so it's up to you. I'm not there to make that decision for you. So you have to figure out what's going to work for you today. Good, good. Pull up through the arms, spread the chest open, shoulder blades in, and then come down. If you've had your fill, then you can sit up in Virasana. If you want to do one more, then let's take Dhanurasana. So holding the tops of the feet like this. Okay? Now, let me see who's with me. Now press the shins back toward your wall or couch. Press the shins back to lift the chest more. Then lift the knees off the floor, feet toward the ceiling. Pull back with the shins. Pull the shoulder blades in. Dhanurasana. Lift the chest higher and higher. Lift the thighs. Lift the thighs. Come down and rest. All right. And then take a breath. One more time. Those of you in Virasana, Parsha Virasana. Okay? Last time, Dhanurasana. Press the shins back. Get the chest lifting first, then add the lift of the thighs. Inner thighs to the ceiling. Inner thighs to the ceiling. Tailbone down. And lift the collarbones higher and higher. Good. And then come on down. All right. Roll to your side and sit up. Now, there's one more thing that I would like to do here. This time, pull the blanket back away from the wall, away from your support, to about the middle of the mat. Okay, so the blanket is like sort of the middle of the mat. Still, the wall is available, or the couch. All right, now look it. The elbows will come onto the forearms will come onto the couch. The elbows, I'm inching the elbows closer and closer to the wall. The forehead can be down. And then from here, lengthen the outer arm. From here, I can scoot back a little bit at a time, pressing the upper arm bone toward the floor. The hands, don't let the hands smush together. Keep the hands wide. Press your hands into the wall or the couch and try to bring your armpits, outer armpits, toward the floor. Shoulder, it's a prone shoulder flexion. You could call it prone Pincha Mayurasana. All right, good. Keep your hands wide. See how your hands want to come together? It's coming from the tightness of the shoulders, yeah. But keep your hands wide, elbows closer in. So this is, you know, for me and probably for you too, this is quite an uncomfortable position, you know? And so we have to recognize why we're doing this. It's to get that healthy relationship, healthy relationship of the humerus into the shoulder socket. Feet down, Dawn, feet down. Yeah.
Okay.
Of the humerus into the shoulder socket. Do you have pain, Julia?
Peg, I have a plate in this left shoulder.
Uh-huh. So
And
then what you could do, Julia, is you could go like this at the wall. Can you see? You could
Yes,
do like an Ardha Uttanasana.
Okay.
You could do like an Ardha Uttanasana with your arms bent, okay?
Oh, with my arms bent.
Yes, like this. Like this. Can you see?
Oh, yes, I see. Thank you.
Yeah. And only to the extent before the pain, Julia. Don't push into the pain.
Okay.
All right. So this is a meditation. This is a meditation just like opening, softening, lengthening. And then come on, roll to your side. Roll to your side. And come on up. So actually, you know, like I said, I call that prone Pinchamayurasana. Those of you who know Pinchamayurasana, you could go ahead and do a Pinchamayurasana. Okay? I'm not going to give instructions on that right now. But those of you who know Pinchamayurasana, since this is a multi-level class, if you want to do Pinchamayurasana, be my guest. All right. The rest of us, pull your blanket back. Maybe have a bolster handy. And then kneel. So the knees are hip width, the feet hip width. All right, and this is a feeling of the buttocks pressing forward. Buttocks pressing forward here, okay? You could take the bolster. So those of you who are doing Pinchamayurasana, go ahead, you can do it once or twice and then join us here. The bolster goes across the calves. All right, we're getting ready for Ustrasana. All right, so pressing the hands down. Now Julia has that beautiful rope wall. You could hold the ropes and yank down as you lift the chest. First, just take some time to lengthen the buttocks down. Press the center buttock forward. You can even take your hands. Like my hands are like plates here. I'm pushing the buttock forward, and as I push the buttock forward, can I grow taller in my trunk? So see if, as you press the buttocks forward, you can get more access to the spine. All right, and lift the chest up. So once you're finished with Pinchamayurasana, you can join us in Ustrasana. Inhale, lift the chest. Now begin to press the buttocks forward, the thighs to the chair, abdomen back, and then lean back, lean back. Lean back as much as you can, hinging, and lift the chest up, look back, press your palms, Ustrasana. Press your palms into the bolster. Yeah, fingers point back. Turn your hands out, Katie. Fingers point back. Fingers point behind you. Yes. Pull the arms up, pull the shoulder blades in, and then come on up. Okay, just be here in neutral. Now, I just really have to keep emphasizing during back bend week that the low back, there should not be any pain in the low back, okay? The fact of the matter is there is going to be some extension in the low back. That's, of course, necessary and healthy, but not to the point that there's pain. Really, most of the movement is here in the upper back, okay? I would say like 75% here, maybe just 25% here. Most people, they're more flexible in the low back, so the movement's going to come from the low back. But we want to discourage that because that is ultimately a strain on the low back. To put more movement here in the upper back and then wide across the low back. Try it again, Ustrasana. Inhale, lift up, press the buttocks forward with your hands. Lift up, lift higher and higher. Start to hinge back from the front of the hips. So then the front of the hips, the buttocks coming forward, the thighs pressing forward as the trunk extends back. Then shoulder blades in, lift the chest, take your head back, place your hands. Once you place your hands, press your palms down. Now, maybe you'll want to walk your hands to your feet. To keep the thighs forward, buttocks forward. Lift the chest higher and higher. Good. And then come on up. Nice work. Try it one more time, last time, okay? If you've had your fill, just sit on your bolster and rest. But if you want to try it one more time, then buttocks forward. Buttocks forward, sacrum forward, middle buttock. It's the middle buttock that has to come forward. And then lift the chest higher and higher. Yeah, lean back, press your palms. Take your thumb next to your index finger on the bolster. Yes, like that. And then maybe you'll want to walk your hands further back. Turn your hands back, Dawn. Yes. And then navel to the spine. When you lift the navel to the spine, can you get more length in the thoracic spine? Do you feel that connection? Navel back, more chest, more chest. Shoulder blades in. Okay, come on down, come on back up. Sit on your heels to rest, or sit on your bolster to rest. Or sit on your heels, whatever you have. Okay? Ustrasana. So back bends are for building courage. Building courage, building fortitude, building that inner strength, confidence, right? Don't we need confidence and calmness in this time? All right, so I think we have time for a little bit of Dvipada on the chair. So do you have a chair or a stool or a bench you can use? A little something. All right. So you could, if you don't have a folding chair, you could use, then what I suggest is 2 chairs like this. Like this kind of setup. All right. And then sit inside your chair. Or if you have the 2 chairs, then sit on the seam between the 2 chairs. I know these chairs are not matching. I'm just showing you. Sit like this. Okay. If you're using the 2 chairs. Yes. And then start to lie back. Start to lie back. Julia, if you want something for your head, you could use something for your head. If you have a wall, you can use a wall for your feet. Okay, good. And then spread the chest open, buttocks forward, comes through. Pull the shoulder blades in. Let me see. Tracy, go just a little bit more toward the head side. A little bit more toward the head side, yes. Good. Buttocks forward, Katie. Don't let the buttocks not so much on the chair. It's more the upper back and trunk on the chair. Good. Nice work. Roll your thighs in. Lengthen the buttocks toward the backs of the knees. Keep your feet bent for now. Buttocks, feet on the floor. And as you press your feet into the floor, Lengthen the buttocks or the backs of the knees some more. So that the front of the hips opens more and more. Get longer through the side ribs. Remember, the bottom front ribs need to move down toward the foot side. But then, and the abdomen moves back. But then the rest of the side ribs, top ribs, move to the head side. Shoulder blades in. All right. Now, those of you who know Urdhva Dhanurasana, you could do a couple of Urdhva Dhanurasanas from here, okay? So it's up to you. Otherwise, just stay. Just stay for another 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever your capacity right now. When you're going for Urdhva Dhanurasana, stay up on the chair as much as possible. Pull up through the arms. And then get that Pincha Mayurasana action of the arms. Outer armpits forward. Outer armpits forward. Those of you who are done with Dripada, then sit up. Otherwise, you can repeat Urdhva Dhanurasana. And then sitting on your chair, sitting backwards on your chair, and sit up, pull the buttock flesh back. It helps to, if I pin my heels into the inner legs of the chair, to stabilize my hips. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, exhale, twist to the left. Lift the sternum, navel back. I hope you all don't mind that I wear almost the same clothes most days. It just doesn't seem worth, needing to change clothes all the time. Inhale. So maybe we can use this time period also to save laundry and to save water. We realize that, why do we need 20 t-shirts? 3 is perfectly adequate. Okay, and then come on out. All right, so listen, set up for your shoulder stand, okay? So with a bolster for chair shoulder stand, or with blankets for classic, and have a chair or something handy to put your feet on. We'll take Ardha Halasana here as well, okay? If you're not doing Sarvangasana, and you can take Setu Bandha, bridge pose, okay? So Setu Bandha goes like this. Bolster or rolled blankets or what have you. And then a blanket for your head. Something like that. For Sarvangasana, for Setu Bandha. Otherwise, Sarvangasana, okay? Let me see what you've got there. Yes, Tracy, good. Uh-huh. Make sure the chair is not too close. Arms length away, Tracy, with the chair. Yes, good. All right. Let me see. Go ahead. Halasana, or classics, or chair Sarvangasana. Yeah, just a nice Setu Bandha going there. Uh-huh. Whoops. So, Katie, set up a second chair. Set up a chair for your legs. So in chair Sarvangasana, you can still come over. And Irene, don't worry about it. Just stay where you are. But so those of you who are doing chair Sarvangasana, take a look here. So I can do it off the couch here, and the chair is here. And then from here I can come into Halasana. All right. Good. Keep your hands on your back, Tracy. Keep your hands on your back. Lift the back chest up. Yeah, get that bolster underneath your neck and shoulders. And reach up through the buttocks. Widen across the back waist. Come on over. Do you have another chair, Katie, for Halasana? Or plow pose? If you don't worry about it. Just stay where you are. Just stay where you are. Okay, and then up you go into Sarvangasana, people. Up you go into Sarvangasana. Take your feet apart. Take your feet apart, hip width. Walk your hands lower down. Press the buttocks forward. So the feet apart helps to get the buttocks forward some more. All right, inner thighs back. Inner thighs back. Now, classic Sarvangasana people, bend your legs. Bend your legs and lift the knees toward the ceiling. Knees close, feet apart. So this is like Virasana. Yes, knees up to the ceiling. Yes. Yes. So opening up that ditch at the front groins again. Let the heels drop toward the buttocks. Walk your hands lower down. Pull the back ribs in. Good. And then come back up into Sarvangasana. When you come back up into Sarvangasana, can you get more length of the quadriceps up to the feet, lifting the skin of the groins, lifting the skin of the thighs, front thighs, up toward the feet. Buttocks forward, feet still apart, hip width. Yes. Inner thighs back, buttocks up. Soften the throat. Those of you who are out of Sarvangasana, go ahead and take Shavasana. Go ahead and take Shavasana, right? And then Ardha Halasana. Ardha Halasana, for those of you in Sarvangasana. Lift the thighs away from the face. Good. And then Karna Pidasana. Rolling the buttocks forward. And then roll out of the pose. And everyone take Shavasana. It's 10 o'clock now, but hopefully you can stay just a few minutes longer to rest. So after back bends, definitely Release the limbs. You know, the limbs do so much work in creating that opening in the chest, opening in the spine. So relax the limbs completely. Hopefully you still feel this vitality in your spine. And it's not just the bony vertebrae, but it's the whole central nervous system is stimulated. And then, so a feeling of vitality, enlivenment. And of course, tremendous support to the heart and lungs. Tremendous support to bringing circulation to the heart and lungs. Backbends can be quite aerobic. So allow the heart and lungs to just bask in that fresh circulation. Once again, you can bring your attention to the diaphragm, effortlessly moving up and down to pump the lungs with air. And for the next few breaths, you can concentrate on the exhales, elongating the exhales just a little. To bring even more vitality to the lungs here. And suppleness, strength, and resilience. Suppleness, strength, and resilience to the lungs. Allow the front brain to move toward the back brain, widening between the eyebrows. The frontal brain is so stimulated with news, information, data, statistics. But now just let that go. Let the front brain be passive. Let the back brain hold you now. So one thing that happens in stressful situations, our senses are way overstimulated. So recede the senses as you recede the front brain to the back brain. Pratyahara is one of the limbs of yoga, one of the 8 practices of yoga. Pratyahara means withdrawal of the senses. So it's just as important to know how to withdraw the senses as it is to stimulate the senses. Stimulation comes easily and naturally as we're navigating through the world, but the withdrawal of the senses, sometimes we have to be very conscious about that. So sink your eyes to the back skull, draw your inner ears toward each other, release the tongue. Let the breath through the nose be so soft so that you're not stimulating the sense of smell. and even shrink in slightly from your skin, as if the skin is like a little loose on you. And now, slowly getting ready to come back, take a series of slightly slower, softer breaths, coming back into your senses, coming back into your body, your embodiment, this time and place. Bring your hands to rest on your trunk and bending your legs, roll to your side. Sit up. Join your palms at the center of the chest. Close your eyes if you would like to. We acknowledge the land that we're seated upon, which is the unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Nation. And we acknowledge the waters that surround us, give us life. We honor the sacred art of yoga and all our teachers. Nikaya Sayangar, Pita Iyengar. We honor the inner teacher. And we honor each other. Exhale all together. Take a slow, soft inhale. One unison Om. Om. Bow your head down. Release your hands. Lift your face and open your eyes.
Namaste. Thank you, Peggy.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Peggy. Thank you for the challenge.
Okay, I hope you feel good.
It was
Yeah,
great.
it's harder for me to modify when I'm not in the same room, but hopefully everybody's finding ways to modify as needed.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
For
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
just for attendance, Katie, what's your last name?
Carey, Carey.
Perfect, thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy.
You're welcome. Good to see you.
I'll be back. See you next
Good.
week.
Okay, good.